Time is now 12:31 and this is Paul McCartney with a light at the local.
I think you've got the title wrong, Paul.
Oh, light and local.
That's a bit better.
Right.
Yes, it is 12:31, it is light and local, and that was Paul McCartney. We'll be hearing more from him later in the programme. Well, Paul, you've been married, what, a couple of months now?
Couple of months, yeah.
What's it like being the last of the Bachelor Beatles now you're married?
It's terrible, you know. That's okay, you know. It's the same as the same as being married for everyone, you know. It's married.
Yeah, you're liking it anyway?
Yes, it's fine, yeah.
Yeah, but it's meant to you, of course, that you've got an instant family as well. You've got a daughter.
Yes, age 6, young Heather, who's starstruck and would love to be on the programme, but I've put her back in the box.
Yeah, how do you get on with her, in fact?
Oh, great. She's a great kid, you know. She's lovely.
Mm. Do you see much of her, in fact?
Oh, yeah, sure. Well, you know, because I don't sort of go out to work, so the only time I don't see her when she's at school, you know. Oh, I see her and read good night stories and all that stuff, you know.
Do you take her out much?
Yeah, sure. Well, we're going on holiday today, you know, so I've got her off school for a bit. So we're off. I see a lot of her, you know.
Where are you going for your holidays?
Going to France. Try and get a bit of sunshine.
How long will you be away?
I hope in all to be away for about a month, you know, because we've got nothing on for the next month. And we've had a lot on for the past couple of months, as you might have heard from a couple of newspapers here and there. So I'm just trying to get a break now, you know.
Yeah, well, tell us about what, in fact, you have got on, Paul.
Oh, we've been doing a lot of stuff, you know. We've had a lot of stuff happening down at Apple, you know, and we've been making records ourselves. We've been working like till 4 in the morning making records and stuff, you know. And the Northern Songs bid has been on, you know, so it's been high finance down there for the last couple of months. But it seems to be going okay now, you know, so I'm just taking a break, get away from it all.
You talk about high finance. In fact, the Beatles, to me, now seem to be more businessmen than performers.
Yeah, well, the thing is, you see, when we started off as Beatles, you know, we knew nothing about the business side of it. And one thing that does happen in the business is that if you're the artist or if you're the singer or something, you do get agents and people, you know, who are on the business end of it. And sometimes you can get a bit carved up, you know. So that we've been involved in a lot of contracts and a lot of things, you know. It's all very boring, but we've had a lot of contracts and stuff that we have to try and straighten out, you know, now. So that we've become a bit more business-minded, you know, but I still can't stand business, you know. I'd much rather, you know, the four of us really just a rock band, you know, but we've got to actually sort of think now when we sign a contract, what does it mean, you know. It's growing up, you know. You've got to do it one time in your life.
Well, talking about growing up, one night I remember very well was the night you made this tremendous homecoming to Liverpool and the reception at the town hall. Do you long for those days when every time you appeared anywhere you were mobbed and...
Oh, no, I don't think so, you know. Those things, they're fantastic at the time. It's great at the time, all that, you know. But I tell you, we were in... Around about that time, we were in New York, and we'd played to 56,000 people at the Shea Stadium. And just after that, you know, you just sort of think to yourself, you know, now what more can you do? You know, the only thing you can do more is like play to 57,000 or 58,000 next time. So you start to realise, you know, that you've either got to keep trying to play to more and more people and trying to be involved in like bigger and bigger events, or else just sort of cool it down a bit, you know. So that's what we're doing now, you know, cooling it down and living a bit more normal lives than we would have done. Trying to sort out the business bit. But I mean, I tell you, I sometimes think, well, we're not working very hard, you know, like you say, because we don't make that many appearances. But in fact, I was just thinking about it the other day, and we work harder than we've ever done now. You know, like we're slogging away. I was saying, you know, recording till about 4 in the morning. Then you get up the next day and you've got a meeting, a couple of business meetings and stuff. Then recording later in the evening, and in between all of that you've got to write all the songs for it, you know, so we work quite hard.
I've often heard it said by Beatle fans in Liverpool that they've always been sad that the Beatles have never come back to the city since they really became big time.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things, you know. I mean, we always, you know, we've come back when we've been doing tours and stuff, you know, we've always played the Empire and always come back and done that. But it's not just a question of not coming back to Liverpool. We haven't come back to anywhere. You know, it's like, so the people in Runcorn say, haven't been back to Runcorn. People in New York say, haven't been back to there. People in Japan say, haven't been, you know. But the idea is generally that we don't want to do as many performances. Because, see, I was saying, you get to this point where you say, what else can you do, you know? What can you do that was bigger than the last one? So that instead of trying to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, we decided to concentrate mainly on records. So after that, we did Sgt. Pepper, you know, and then we did Magical Mystery Tour, which was a new thing we tried then.
From your point of view, were they a success? Certainly the Magical Mystery Tour came in for some criticism, didn't
Yeah, oh it did, yeah. The thing is, see, at the time, I'll tell you what was, there's a couple of main things that were really hashed up about that. One was that it was we made it in colour, you know, it was a sort of colour thing. And it was put out, first of all, in black and white. So there's whole big sequences that you couldn't understand, you know, because they looked, I saw it on the telly and it just looked mad, you know, in black and white. Because there were sequences where the colours changed, you know, and, you know, so, I mean, that was a bit daft. The thing itself was, we just did it off our own bat, you know. And I think it was put on like at the wrong time on telly when everyone's expecting sort of Christmas extravaganzas. And we put on this mad film. But I've since seen it, you know, and a lot of people have since seen it. And for instance, it's been around America since. And it's being very successful at the moment, you know, because it's now people are sort of catching up with what it's about now, you know. And so it's now beginning to be very, very successful. It wasn't on the day it was out. You know, the first day it was out in Britain, there was a lot of comment about it. But as I say, you know, it's been shown in America and it's been shown in a lot of places since. And now it's getting very successful. I tell you, I think it's going to be in about 10 years' time, it's going to be one of those films that said, yeah, let's have a look at that again. And it'll be like an old, you know, sort of like Rock Around the Clock in them. You know, now they look better than they did then. You know what I mean? Because they get some nostalgia and stuff. At the time, it was just a bit sudden and it was a bit sort of too quick. But I still like it as a thing. I still think it's great.
You've had a very varied career, Paul. What sticks out? Is there anything that sticks out most in your mind? Anything that's happened or anything you've done that really gives you a great deal of satisfaction?
Well, I think mainly the things that give me the satisfaction are things like, you know, the receptions you get. Like you said, the Liverpool reception, you know. That was fantastic at the time, you know, it was incredible. Those are the highlights for me. There was another one just like that in Adelaide, in Australia, and you know, we had the same kind of reception. It was like being the Queen or something. You know, we came in from the airport. It was the same in the Liverpool one, and we came in from the airport, you know, and we're just all the crowds lining the route, you know, and we're giving them the thumbs up, and we went to the town hall, you know, and we're up with the Lord Mayor of Adelaide there, and we're giving the thumbs up. But in Liverpool it's okay because everyone understands the thumbs up. But in Australia, it's a dirty sign. So they all wonder what we were doing there. You know?
Paul, let me, if I may, turn for a minute to your personal lives. The Beatles have come in for a lot of criticism about things that have happened in their personal lives. Do you think it's all been justified? How have you felt about it when you've had these criticisms?
The criticism's okay, you know, because, I mean, people, you're allowed to criticise. See, the thing is, our whole thing, on the surface of it, I mean, because you know, you read about us in the newspapers, hear about us on interviews and stuff. All of that, on the surface of it, you know, I understand why it comes in for criticism, you know, because I'll tell you one thing about us, we've never been dishonest. So that, for instance, if John, you know, because I know you're talking about John and Yoko mainly, you know, most people. So if John, you know, sort of marries Yoko and divorces Sin, a lot of people think, well, he's just mad, you know, because he's gone off with this mad Japanese girl. And instead of Cynthia, you know, who's a great girl. But the truth about it all is that he loves Yoko, you know, and so that, like, whether you like it or not, I tell you, he said one thing to me which made me understand what they were up to, you know, just as two people, not as anything else, just as two people. He just said, I tell you, it's like holding hands on the back row of the pictures. And I suddenly realised they're not freaks. You know, they may look like freaks, and they may, because he says that, you know, John, he says, well, it's too bad, you know, if I look, you know, if we look like this, or people think we're funny, or people think, it's too bad, you know, this is how we are, and we're very straight, because they are really, they're two great people, you know, and they're very much in love, you know, so you can't say anything more than that.
What about the other side of it, the attitude of the Beatles towards drugs?
Well, again, you see, that's another thing. It's like someone comes up and asks you, and they say, now, what do you think about drugs, you know? Okay, so if you've been involved in it and if you've tried drugs and stuff, then what can you say? You can only lie if you want your public image to be great. The only way out is to lie, you know, and like so many people do, you know that sort of the Hollywood star thing. It's wonderful in your country, it's so wonderful, everything's rosy, it's beautiful. Yes, do you take drugs, Mr. Hollywood? He said, no, it's terrible, and I think it's... But the thing is, we're honest, you know, so that, you know, if people are awkward enough to go and ask us that question, they're going to get an honest reply, and it's always going to be something that they may not like, you know. They may like it, they may not. But I'll tell you one thing is that it's honest. At least it's an honest reply, and at least we didn't mess around saying, oh, no, we've never touched them, oh, it's terrible and all that, you know. At least we were honest about it, you know. And I think, you know, you can't really go far wrong. You can get people... we get a lot of the older generation really moaning at us, you know, and saying it's terrible. I met a fella coming up on the train, and he said, he asked for my autograph for his daughter, you know. And he said, it's good to see you looking so healthy. He said, from what we hear about the Beatles, you know, we expect them to be a real depraved lot, you know, and so we expect you to be washed out and really looking terrible and everything. And, you know, we're having a laugh about it, and I was saying, yeah, I understand, you know, because from what you hear about us, you'd think we've gone potty, you know. But I tell you, you know, just as four people, we're really, we're all right, you know. There's nothing seriously wrong.
You remain friends, or on the surface anyway, for a great length of time. Is there really this bond of friendship between you, would you say?
Yeah, sure, there is. You know, because we're each other's mates, you know. I mean, and we've come through all of this together. We've been together now for 40 years. So, I mean, you can't help but be friends. Anyway, I mean, they're my three best friends. You know, they're good lads, I tell you.
Is there anything which the Beatles as a whole, or you personally, would like to do? You've done a lot already. Is there anything you feel that is left that you can really achieve, that you really want to achieve?
Well, the main things in that are just in music, you know. We've still got a lot to do in music, as far as we're concerned. We just finished an album now, which and we're on to the next one already, you know, before this one's been released. So we're working hard on the music thing. But as far as performances and stuff, as I say, you know, when you've played to 56,000 in a big stadium, you know, but you can't really do much more than that, unless it's like get on Telstar and have an hour playing to everyone in the world. You know, you can't really top 56,000, you know. So that we don't have too many performance ambitions left. But the ambitions are all in the music, you know, as far as I'm concerned.
Anything particular?
Just to do better music, you know. It's always been that. It's like we started off with Love Me Do, and the second record we wanted to be better, you know, so we did Please Please, and we wanted the next one to be better. You know, and it's that's where the ambition is, to make music that satisfies us and other people, you know.
Why do you feel the Beatles have been so successful in their songwriting?
Well, see, the trouble with asking a question like that is you get an answer which could sound big-headed, because I think it's because we write good songs, you know. Don't think there's anything other than that.
Why you write good songs?
I don't know. No, I don't know. You know, I think like John and I is a good combination, because I'm very, you know, if I'm left on my own to write songs, I'll write songs that are a bit sloppy, which I like. You know, I'm sort of a bit more sentimental on the surface. Now John will write sort of harder songs, so that if we come together, then you get a bit of each, you know, you get a bit of this cup of tea, folks. You get a bit of the sloppy stuff and a bit of the hard stuff, you know, so then you get a nice combination, you know. It's a good, yeah.
How about personal ambitions? You've just got married now. Would you like a family of your own? You've got an instant family, as you say. Yeah. How many children would you like yourself?
I don't know, you know. As many as you can, as many as I can put up with, you know. I love kids. Well, I say I love kids now. I haven't got that many. You know, I've got one at the moment, and I love her. So I really don't know what I'm going to be like with a large family, but I fancy a large family, you know.
How do you imagine yourself, say, in 20 years' time, Paul?
Old.
Do you think you'll still have the? Do you think you'll still be in the same business, or will you have retired long before then?
Oh no, I'll tell you. I think we'll be in music. See, this is why I say, you say like performance. Okay, you can perform, and see, the only thing the four of us really don't particularly want to do, speaking from now, is end up at about 60 with grey hair, you know, rocking around. You know, you don't want to have to do it then. You know, so this is why we're trying to sort of lay the thing now of saying, look, we're going to do what we want to do. If we build up a following, then we suddenly say we're not going to play anymore. You've got to bear with us, because that's what we're going to do. We're going to do it as we want to do it, you know. And it's too bad if people want us to perform when we're 60 and we say, well, we're not going to, you know what I mean? So that that side of it, we're not too concerned about. If we want to do shows and stuff, we'll still do them, you know. But we don't want to be tied down to shows. But in the music, you can continue singing and playing, you know, till the day before you die, you know. So that we intend to do that, you know. The music will always be there. Well, that's all, folks, from Light and Local, and Paul McCartney here with a light down at the local. Set them up, Mary. Goodbye.
And we'll all be back, except Paul McCartney, at the same time, 12:31 on Monday.